some thoughts on the Russian invasion of Ukraine. And we know we take a deep dive into it in my podcast, in the most recent episode of my podcast, Just Buy Less Coffee, answering the deeper questions of American politics. So you can click the link tree in my bio and subscribe to that if you want to hear it. But some thoughts that I'm having today are just that this is a fucking horrendous tragedy. Ukrainian people are fucked. Ukraine is fucked because there's absolutely no way that the United States or any other NATO power is going to send troops in to defend Ukraine through force. So that leaves sanctions, and the sanctions are going to be pretty severe. But the Ukrainian people right now don't have any options. No help is coming for them. Their best hope is to try and get out, but that means trying to flee a country into Europe that has already seen its share of refugees, that has been pretty hostile to Syrian refugees. Grocery stores are running out of food, banks are running out of money. The other option is just that they stay and live in an occupied nation. Essentially, Russia's going to take over that nation and install a puppet government, and the Ukrainian people are going to have to live in an occupied nation. This is a horrific thing. And my heart just bleeds for the Ukrainian people right now. And I hope that we see a lot of worldwide protests against this. The most tragic thing for me is the fact that the United States doesn't have a leg to stand on in this debate. We squandered our international military moral authority when we invaded Iraq. From World War II up until the first Gulf War, the principle was you cannot just invade another country. Invading another country is against the rules. We changed the rules when we invaded Iraq in 2003. We sent a message to the world that preemptive invasion is now morally acceptable. And so now we have no moral ground to stand on to tell another country that they can't just invade one of their neighbors. I will say that I hope that there are massive protests in Russia, and I think there will be. There's talk of that, even though they cracked down on dissent in Russia. There's talk of massive protests. The Russian people are not happy about this. This is Putin and Putin alone. This is his own ideological desire to reform the Soviet Union. So let this be Putin's Vietnam. Let this be Putin's Afghanistan. This is going to be a long, protracted occupation of Ukraine. There's going to be an internal resistance movement. This is going to be World War III in the social media age. You're going to see all this shit. You're going to see all the atrocities in real time. It's not like past conflicts where you just heard about it. You're going to see the Holocaust this time on your phone. And this is going to destroy Putin. It already is. This is his downfall. There is nothing that Putin can get from Ukraine through war that he couldn't have gotten through diplomacy. And it's just an absolute fucking tragedy.